What's up, guys, and welcome to another video of PsykoSpeaks. In tonight's video, I will be talking to Raymond, and basically we'll be discussing his perspective on mental health problems and how he handles the situation himself with what he deals with. So let's go ahead and get started. So what does mental health mean to you?
um, Mental health. That's so like it means a lot to me. Like, because some days, you have good days and everything. Your mental mentality's good. You're up. You're perky. Hey guys, what's up? You're able to go throughout your day and everything, doing everything, no problems. And other days, there's things that may happen to you just a slight little bit. Something go wrong at work, home, maybe even driving down the road. Something happens and you just kind of get down with it a bit and you're not 100%. So you're there doing everything, but you're not there 100% because inside you're like battling inside your head while you've got all this other stuff going on. Like, you're not able to take a complete break from what you're doing, so you're not only doing that, you're fighting your mind as well, just trying to come through everything with like all the different mental statuses and stuff to try to get everything to be alright. And sometimes that's a big tassel. Like, you can be at work hanging out with everybody having a good time, and next minute, like I said, one thing happens and you're down. So it's like, oh man, I've really got to figure out how to pick myself up here, try to show everybody that there's nothing wrong. So you just kind of put on that like smile and go with it, and it's hard to do that.
Like wearing sometimes. A mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know a lot about that this year.
Yeah.
Something I definitely hate dealing with.
So have you ever experienced any attacks of fear, anxiety, or panic?
I have quite a few times, and a lot of it started when I was younger in school and everything. I'd have like get picked on a bit, bullied a bit, which I'd always kind of like laugh it off, shrug it off. But a lot of times, a lot of it hurt, and I'd like go home, sit there, sigh about it, cry about it, and music helped me cope with it a lot. The anxiety part and everything, that kind of hit me more throughout my high school stages and then into the adult life as well. I had a lot of different things go on, like especially when I went in Marine Corps. We had a couple of situations where had some tragic events happen. One guy that I was relieving from fire watch and stuff committed suicide that night, hung himself, and I was one of the first to find him. And the anxiety hit me worse than the depression. Like, I hated he was gone, but like it just kind of like made me anxious. Like, my mind was racing. Like, what do you do? Because it was one of those things where I couldn't make everything better, so I was just like panicking on what I was going to do, and like everybody.
So the burden from that.
Yeah, and I mean, I held it a long time. Like, it was one of those things of like, well, if I had a chance to maybe have talked to him, or like
beating yourself up, thinking that you maybe could have stopped it.
Yeah, and like, I mean, like, I still like had nightmares for several years, and like didn't want to openly up and talk about it, but I had some friends and stuff who were there with me at the time that kind of talked to me on it and got me through it, because we all experienced together. So that was one of the easier ways to cope with it. Years later was all I was like sitting down and kind of visiting that tragic day and stuff, and all I was just kind of like coping with it that way to get through it.
Right.
And then
I mean, that's understandable. I mean, sometimes it helps to have a strong support group, especially when it's people, that have seen the same thing pretty much.
Right, kind of like us helping each other with like different things.
Yeah. Okay. So, what do you believe is important for anyone to be aware of if they know someone with mental health issues?
One of the biggest keys that I've learned, and I actually learned this from a good friend of mine years ago. He had some different problems and stuff getting help with, and everybody's different. That's what people don't realize is my problems are different from yours. Other people watching this, y'all's problems might be different than mine. We may have some similarities, but everyone's different. Everybody copes with their mental issues and stuff differently. They've got different tactics they use. They have different things that trigger. Some coping mechanisms that help me, for example, is like I just kind of go through and I do a lot of watching. Like, I always like to kind of watch my environment there to see what's around me. And other people that's dealing with like different issues, I say like one thing I think that can help with like coping and stuff a lot is one of my biggest go-tos is music. And some of the different music. So it just kind of depends on how I feel and everything, but music's always one of them big give-me's.
Kind of helps you release the energy inside of you that you've been bottling up.
Or sometimes like going outside, getting some fresh air and cooling off a bit and just kind of going out there where it's quiet, just kind of getting your head clear is also another way of helping cope with things. But also just being there for a person, talking to them through it, like, hey, you okay? And a lot of times, they won't respond to that, but just if they say, hey, I'm here, I'm going to sit here with you. I know you've got some different issues going on here today, or you don't have to really put it like that, but you'd be like, hey, I'm here for you if you need to talk or anything, so let me know. I mean, you don't have to exactly talk to me right now, but whenever you're ready to talk to me, I'm just going to let you know I'm here for you. How can I help you, and just kind of sit there and just calm, try to be calm and patient with them. Sometimes it's easy to get aggravated with them, as we've kind of done with each other a few times, like nobody's perfect. And I mean, like, I screw up a lot and stuff, nobody's perfect on that. But I mean, just like be there and do the best you can for them and everything is one of the big keys to me and everything on being able to like help somebody cope through it, because sometimes, one of the best feelings that somebody likes to feel is when they don't think anybody loves them, it's just like, hey, I'm here, I love you, what you need, just kind of like being there for them and that type of support and just show them, and everything that you're there.
And a lot of things that people think is like, well, you don't love me, how can you love me, you just met me. I love you because I don't need a reason to. You don't need a reason to hate. Why should you need a reason to love?
Right.
What are some other coping skills that you would give people that are going through a hard time, like mentally?
I'd just say, like I said, we've been over a couple of those. Music is one of the big keys, or one thing to help cope. Maybe playing a game or something like that. Going out for a walk or something. Just doing an activity that you love to do, or watching something on TV maybe that might like make you happy and stuff. Playing games and stuff like that. Just something to kind of occupy you and kind of help you get over that feeling, like, just kind of go to your happy place with it.
Do things that make you feel safe.
Right. Yeah, or maybe, like call somebody, say, hey, can I come visit you while I'm feeling a little bit off today, just having some problems, man, can I come over and hang out, and if one person says no, just like maybe just try to find somebody you can go hang with and just kind of, talk to them, just like find somebody that'll listen at the moment.
What things affect your mental wellness?
Like things that like affect mine and stuff are like different situations. one thing is like being out somewhere and seeing somebody like being mean to like a little kid or something like that. That's one thing that really kind of like triggers me, and I have to like bite my tongue instead of like going over there and like ripping the dude's head off. Like that's one of my big problems. Also, sometimes with work, I've had it happen a lot to me and stuff. Like I get down if I've got like orders or something at work, and I'm in there going through the orders like boom, 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 like trying to get them all up there, and then somebody comes back and goes, "Hey, I hate to say this, but you messed up on this order here and stuff. Like you got it wrong. They're wanting to know if you can fix it," and it's like, man, I was like, here I was doing so good, and that one thing, just that one little thing, can like trigger it and just get you down, just kind of like throw your whole day off. So now I'm like doing double the work, trying to like focus my mentality just to get like that voice up there to shut up. And sometimes it takes a while, and it may even take me a day or two to like fully get over just a little something like that. And also like but yeah, definitely that, and like other situations, like out in public, like seeing like different things, news stories can trigger pretty quick too. Something bad in the news happens, and I was like, the way the things are going now with the whole COVID thing and the don't want to get into it much, but like the political situation, stuff like that, like little things like that, like trigger, and it's like, we're just having to like figure everything out. And I mean, it's hard, but you just got to realize at the end of the day, yeah, I'm human, you're human, and like what can we all do to just like come together and just like get back to like that place of like, well, I mean, I don't really like to use the word normal, because honestly, nobody's really normal. I mean, whatever they say, I mean, yeah, you can act normal or whatever they call is normal, but but we're just like trying to get back to our happier place and just go with things from there. Sorry about that. We've got neighbors moving in beside us, so if you kind of see us looking, we're just kind of like hearing different things with them going on next door. So just kind of like pardon the little bit of like interruptions there.
Okay, next question is, how would you explain what it's like to suffer with these conditions?
Some days it could be really good days, and then other days it can just be bad or just a complete hell. I mean, it really depends. I mean, you've got your happy-go-lucky days, and then you've got your not so happy-go-lucky days. We all suffer with it, but it's about how we cope with it, how we just kind of like find that one person to lean on, or maybe, like I said, like go walking, fishing, play games, biking, just get out there, do some kind of activity you like, and just kind of help the bad days, like turn into good days. Easier said than done. Because a lot of days, I mean, there's days like you don't want to get up out of bed, or you don't want to go do this, like, I've got to do this today, but I don't feel like it. But I mean, and honestly though, like, you get up and you go do it, and it's like, hey, it wasn't so bad. I'm kind of glad I got out there and done it. I'm feeling better now. I mean, a lot of it is like self-motivation.
Making yourself do something even though you don't want to do it.
Right. And that's one big key there too.
Honestly, if I were to try to explain to somebody what it was like dealing with anxiety, depression, and PTSD through my eyes, it would be like not being able to wake up from your worst nightmare. Like, right. Imagine your worst nightmare, but like you're living it.
Right.
it's something that is not pretty. It's not all sunshine and roses in that spot. And to be honest, to have a really good support system it's worth it. I mean, you gotta have a good support system. You have to have people you can rely on when something like that goes wrong, that you can call on and say, here's what's happening, that you can trust with that, and them not bash you or spread rumors about you or something like that. Like someone you can trust.
Right.
Which is hard to find nowadays, but believe me, there's people out there.
There are that.
So what were your thoughts regarding the signs and symptoms of these mental health issues?
Like I said, I mean, it's like a daily thing. Like there's good signs and there's bad signs. And bad signs, like I said, they could pop up out of nowhere. Maybe start out with bad dreams, and then maybe like wake up and it's like, I didn't sleep none tonight because of that. And then something happens later on that day that's just kind of like another sign with it to help trigger it, and you have 3 or 4 things that go wrong, and it's like, how am I going to pull myself out of it? And it's just like a mental battle to just keep going, but you dig down to keep going. And one thing I'm big with on that too, especially like with the PTSD from military and a few other different things, is sometimes like it's hard to open up and talk about it. I've definitely learned that over the years with the PTSD in my earlier stages of it. I actually would shut down a lot, go quiet, and just stay that way. People ask what's wrong, and just like brush it off and go, nothing, I'm fine. And they look in your eyes and it's like, something's wrong, man, just talk to me about it. You just kind of brush them off and walk away. And now looking at it, a few years later, still battling with some of the same symptoms, but I've learned that it's better to talk to people on it. Even if you think no one's listening, there's always someone there to listen, whether it's you or a parent, sibling, another relative, friends, or hell, sometimes even a complete stranger. I've had strangers and stuff come up, say, pray for me, I'm dealing with this, or I'll be like, hey man, pray with me, I'm dealing with this. And sometimes just talking to a complete stranger can help you out better than anything. I mean, you sit there and talk maybe 5-10 minutes or longer, and it's like you've known each other pretty much your whole lives.
Have you or someone you know experienced these conditions?
Yes, and I mean, I know several people besides you and me. Got family members that deal with it, friends that deal with it. Know a lot of different ones, and everybody's got their own different problems and different coping mechanisms and stuff with it. One of the biggest things, though, that we always say, and it's not just a military thing. A lot of people think it is, and the military guys, we are a firm believer in it, but it's not just for us, it's for anybody out there suffering with the mental issues, whether it be PTSD, depression, anxiety, or other different depressant things. One of our biggest things is Stop the 22, which nobody knows what that is. That actually is one thing that the vets kind of said with the suicidal awareness. The Stop the 22, because they say there's 22 veterans a day that commit suicide and stuff. But we kind of look at it now as, we kind of reach out to, like, hey, not just our military family, but our other friends, civilians, or anybody that's suffering with anything. Yeah, I mean, you may feel that way, but just remember there's somebody out there you can reach, and anybody that's got problems, feel free to hit yours truly up, and I'll be glad to set up and talk with you and stuff. But we definitely can't do it alone, but together we can stop the 22.
And don't forget that I did mention in my other video, we also have a Facebook page.
Yes.
We Are the Warriors. I will post the link in this video. I'm also posting a link for my other videos as well. But I will for sure post the link for our Facebook page. If anybody out there is feeling down like that, add the page. There's always someone to talk to you.
And another page too, if y'all don't want to, I also run, off topic, but I also run the Slapshot hockey page on Facebook as well. But you guys can hit me up with any problems y'all have got. If you can't find me on the We Are the Warriors page, feel free to hit me up on the other, and be glad to help you out and talk to you there as well.
How would you react if you notice these signs in someone you care about?
One thing I do is, like, I'll look and say, one of the first things I always do, and it's kind of lame, kind of not at times, but it's one of those, like, hey, how you do, like, you okay? And kind of like I do with you at times. It's like, are you okay? Anything I can get you, and just try to, cheer you up the best I can. I mean, sometimes it may sound annoying, but I do care. I don't give a, pardon my language, but I don't give a damn who it is. I care. I mean, that's my thing. I mean,
Cleaning yourself on camera.
And as one of those things that, like, I've been there, done that. Not, hey there, kitty, come here, come, Dad.
This is Storm, everybody. Say hi to Storm.
Say hi, Storm.
And the doggy that you've seen in the background wandering around is Trixie. She is my emotional support animal.
This is my kid.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Say bye, guys. Bye, guys.
How might taking action benefit you and the person you care about? Storm, where'd you go?
What was the question again? I'm sorry.
It's okay. How might taking action benefit you and the person you care about?
I think sometimes, I mean, to me, it just feels great to, regardless if it's somebody I know or not, I mean, it always feels good to help somebody out there. I mean, you often wonder, hey, am I doing any good? Is anything that I'm doing with this working? And when you get to go out there and actually sit down and talk and help somebody, it means a lot. It's like, hey, maybe, we are making a difference. I mean, even if we feel like we're not making a difference, I mean, there's always that to look at, like we could make a difference, and hopefully one day in the near future just put an end to it all by being able to reach out to the next person in need and just continue to help lift our brothers and sisters and stuff, like friends, family, strangers, whoever it may be, up and stuff, and support.
If you were in the same room as somebody having an anxiety attack or suffering with depression or going into a panic disorder or PTSD, how would you yourself handle that situation?
Well, first off, I'd kind of look and see our surrounding, and depending on the situation, depending on how bad the situation is, go up and just slowly approach the person and calmly do, like, hey, you good? You okay? You need anything? What's wrong? Just speak calmly and kindly to them. Don't just go, hey, you okay? Don't do it like that, because you're going to probably trigger them worse.
Goodness.
Or you don't go up and be like, hey! You know,
No,
something like
that's probably
that.
the worst thing for you to do at that point.
No, from experience. Not that
I'm
I've done
sorry,
it, but you
God.
know.
I'm sorry, y'all. Looking at this right here, seeing Storm in the background. She's very high maintenance. She likes to clean herself a lot. I apologize for y'all seeing that.
At least the other kitty cat's being good.
We're gonna wrap this up with one more question, and then hopefully we'll have our next segment up of. What do you think we should cover next?
Actually, that's a good question. I will work on some topics the rest of the week, or better yet, if you guys have any certain topics that you want us to speak of or cover, or maybe be able to help you guys with, feel free to hit us up on it. It'd be great. I mean, you know, the best way to help cover topics and talk about stuff that people care about or need help with is listening to your followers and viewers. So we'd love to hear back from you guys and get some insight on some different types of situations there to cover.
And if you like the video we did tonight, hit that subscribe button. And stay tuned for more videos. Last question to end the night is, do you yourself battle with any mental wellness or health struggles?
Yes. And honestly, it's actually hard to say that at times, because I've always felt like the person, you know, that, I mean, ever since I was younger, I mean, I've dealt with different things, but at the same time, it's like I've always told people, you know, you got any problems, come to me. Be glad to help you. That's what I do. It's hard to be that person and look at somebody and say, hey, I need help. And I know there's other you folks out there that feel the same way. It's like, hey, I'm dealing with this. Like, inside, you're just screaming, hurting, wanting somebody to come help you out, while you're still being the guy that's going out here lending the helping hand, trying to be Superman.
Believe me, the weight of the world gets heavy at times.
Yes.
Thank you, Storm.
And sometimes even us people that are trying to be the help, we need the help. Don't ever be afraid to go ask for help. Sometimes, and I've been told this over the years too, sometimes it takes a bigger person to say I need help than it does being the bigger person to reach out there to help someone. It's hard to help someone too at times when you need to help yourself. And that's one thing that I've learned over the years. I've had a real great friend of mine who was in the Marine Corps. We was stationed together, and that was one of the last conversations we had before his last sorry, getting a little emotional talking about it. It was one of the last conversations we had right before his final deployment, before he got killed and everything and stuff. But that was one thing that I took to heart, was that one conversation with him saying, hey man, just be strong. Anytime you need help, you go get it. You don't hesitate. It takes a stronger person to be able to admit they need help than it does to just shrug it off. And he's like, you can't help someone like you need to if you're the one needing the help as well. Said, you've got to get the help, be there, and everything. And that's what's going to make you a better person and stuff, is when you can admit that sometimes you need the help too in order to be able to go out there and save and help the next person.
And that's all the time we have for tonight. So, keep a watch. We'll be dropping other videos soon. I'll have more people come in to do interviews on, basically like we did tonight, and cover what they experience and their outlook on mental health awareness and all that. So that concludes this session. See you guys. Psycho out.